Welcome back to the Deep Dive. It's Tuesday, February 4th.
Okay.
And today we're going to be doing a deep dive into This Week in Tesla.
All right.
We've got a stack of recent articles.
That's good.
And we're ready to break down all the most important news and developments for you.
Yeah, it's been quite a week for Tesla,
Oh, yeah?
with kind of a mix of positive and negative headlines swirling around.
It seems like there's always something going on with Tesla.
Always.
Let's start with the Cybertruck,
Sure.
shall we? It's been making waves
Yeah.
with some impressive sales figures,
Yeah.
actually outselling Ford's F-150 Lightning.
That's right. Despite some initial, doubts about its unconventional design and those long wait times for delivery, the Cybertruck has clearly resonated with buyers.
Wow.
In fact, Tesla managed to clear its entire reservation backlog for the Cybertruck in both Canada and Mexico in just 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
That's incredible,
It is.
especially when you compare it to the U.S. market,
Right.
where it took over 10 months to clear the backlog.
Yeah,
So that speaks volumes about international demand.
it does.
But here's where things get a little interesting.
Okay.
Tesla's been adjusting its pricing strategy for the Cybertruck, slashing prices on leases,
Yeah.
and even offering a pretty sweet incentive
Okay.
for new purchases.
So what are they doing?
They've actually dropped the monthly lease payment twice in just 2 months.
Wow.
And on top of that, they're throwing in a free vinyl wrap worth a cool $6,000
Nice.
for anyone buying a new Cybertruck.
That's a pretty significant incentive.
Yeah, those price drops definitely raise some eyebrows.
Mm,
Then there's the news about Tesla removing the Foundation Series branding
right.
from any unsold trucks and dropping prices by $20,000.
Wow.
Is this a sign that the initial hype might be fading a bit?
It's a possibility,
Yeah.
and there's more fuel for that thought. They've also decided to abandon their plans to use stainless steel exteriors for future vehicles,
Interesting.
which throws the European and Chinese Cybertruck redesigns into uncertainty. We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out.
Definitely a lot of moving pieces with the Cybertruck.
For sure.
Speaking of changes, let's shift gears to the Model Y.
Okay.
A refreshed version, codenamed Juniper,
Juniper.
is set to launch next month in March.
Yeah, the Juniper refresh boasts several new features, including a front light bar,
Okay,
rear indirect lighting,
nice.
redesigned door panels,
All right.
and powered rear seats.
Oh, very cool.
You can actually get a sneak peek at 17 Tesla showrooms across the U.S. and 2 in Canada.
Wow, so they're really,
Yeah,
it seems like they're pulling out all the stops
they are.
with this refresh, and it might be just what they need,
Yeah.
especially considering some early reports are painting a rather bleak picture of Tesla's January sales in Europe.
Yes, those reports indicate that January sales were particularly dire in Europe,
Oh.
especially for the Model Y,
Oh, really?
which happens to be their top seller there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And Bank of America is predicting some significant short-term pain for Tesla. Due to updating those production lines for this new Model Y, we're talking about weeks of downtime across all their factories.
Wow.
Their estimate is a potential loss of 100,000 vehicles.
100,000 vehicles.
That's a bold prediction.
It is.
And it'll be interesting to see if it comes to pass.
Yeah.
But the bigger question is,
That.
can Tesla really afford these production disruptions when their overall sales are already showing signs of slowing down?
That's a great question.
And speaking of slowing sales,
Yeah.
let's take a closer look at Tesla's performance in California,
Okay.
their biggest U.S. market.
All right.
The overall sales there actually dropped by 12% in 2024.
12%. Yeah.
And the decline was even more pronounced for the Model 3,
Okay.
with registrations plummeting by a staggering 36%.
Wow, that's
Quite a hit.
got a hit. Yeah.
Some analysts are suggesting that CEO Elon Musk's increasingly visible political ties
Okay.
to conservative figures
All right.
might be alienating some of those left-leaning Californian buyers.
It's a theory that's gaining some traction.
It is?
And it's worth noting that California Governor Gavin Newsom has actually threatened to exclude Tesla from state EV incentives
Oh, wow.
if those federal tax credits are revoked.
So the political landscape is definitely playing a role here.
It is.
And it's not just limited to California.
Okay.
Tesla is also experiencing sales slumps in 5 major European markets:
What are those?
the UK, France, Sweden, Norway,
Okay.
and the Netherlands.
All right.
The declines range from 12% to a pretty significant 63%.
63%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Depending on the market.
Okay.
It seems there are multiple factors at play here.
Yeah.
Some analysts attribute the slump to Tesla's aging model lineup.
Right.
They haven't released a truly new mainstream car since the Model Y back in 2020.
That's true.
Others point the finger directly at Elon Musk himself,
Okay.
arguing that his vocal support for figures like Donald Trump and certain far-right parties in Europe
Yeah.
might be alienating a portion of potential buyers. There's actually a UK survey that found 59% of EV buyers were less likely to buy a Tesla
Wow.
because of Musk's political viewpoints.
59%.
That's a pretty significant number.
It is.
And these developments are definitely causing some concern among investors.
Right.
Yeah, the big question everyone's asking is,
What's that?
can Musk effectively run a $1.25 trillion company
Right.
while also juggling his involvement with SpaceX,
Mm-hmm.
formerly Twitter?
Formerly Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And now increasingly politics.
Yeah. That's a lot to handle.
It's a lot to handle.
It is.
Indeed it is.
And remember that controversial $56 billion Tesla compensation package for Musk?
Oh, right.
That sparked so much debate.
The one that faced a lot of pushback.
Yes, well, the CEO of Norway's $1.7 trillion sovereign wealth fund actually voted against it.
What?
Twice.
Oh,
And he wasn't alone.
really?
Major investment groups and even Europe's largest pension fund expressed their opposition to the deal.
It seems like there's growing concern about corporate governance at Tesla.
Even among those who support the company's mission.
It seems that way.
And Musk didn't take this opposition lightly.
Oh.
He even declined a dinner invitation from the Norwegian CEO
Wow.
and accused him of leaking their private text message.
Okay.
This very public disagreement certainly added fuel to the fire
Right.
and raised further questions about Musk's leadership style
Yeah,
and decision-making.
definitely.
It seems like Musk isn't just facing scrutiny from investors. A space law expert is publicly criticizing him for launching that Tesla Roadster into space back in 2018.
Ah, yes.
Remember that?
The publicity stunt, that almost led to the Roadster being mistaken for an asteroid.
Exactly.
Right.
The expert argues that it was a reckless move,
Uh-huh.
highlighting the growing problem of space junk.
Right.
This incident has resurfaced
Okay.
as a cautionary tale about the potential dangers of unchecked private space exploration.
Yeah, it's certainly a point worth considering as the private sector
Yeah.
becomes more involved in space travel.
Right. That.
Let's talk about something that could have major implications
Right.
for Tesla's financial.
Okay.
Those tariffs that President Trump has imposed on Chinese imports.
Right. The return of those tariffs has sent shockwaves through the market.
It has.
Tesla's stock took a significant hit, plummeting 5% in just one day,
Oh, wow.
which wiped out a whopping $11.8 billion of Musk's net worth.
Ouch.
It's a lot of money.
That's a significant blow.
It is.
Tesla and Apple, both heavily reliant on Chinese manufacturing,
Yeah.
are finding themselves in a particularly tough spot.
So what does that mean for them?
These tariffs mean higher costs,
Okay.
which could ultimately price hike consumers.
Right.
And speaking of challenges for Tesla,
Yeah.
there's a new bill in Washington state
Okay.
that, if passed, could have a major impact on their direct-to-consumer sales.
Right. The bill aims to allow other EV makers, such as Rivian and Lucid,
Okay.
to sell directly to buyers as well.
Potentially shaking up the market and impacting Tesla's competitive advantage in that.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it gains enough traction to pass.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot at stake for Tesla in Washington.
It seems like it.
But amidst all these challenges,
Okay.
it's important to remember that Tesla is still pushing forward with its AI ambitions.
Right.
In fact, they're offering insurance discounts to drivers who opt to use their full self-driving system, which, as a reminder,
Right.
is still in beta test.
That's a pretty bold move, offering discounts for a system that's still under development.
It is.
Yeah.
It certainly shows their confidence in their AI technology.
Makes sense.
And it's not just within Tesla.
Okay.
A former Tesla engineer, who now heads a government tech agency,
Right.
is actively advocating for an AI-first strategy
Interesting.
across all federal operations.
Wow. So Tesla's influence is extending beyond just the automotive industry
Yeah.
and into the realm of government policy.
It seems that way.
This could have wide-ranging implications
It could.
for how AI is integrated into various sectors.
It's definitely a trend to watch.
Yeah.
And even Tesla's supplier Panasonic is getting in on the AI action.
Yeah.
They're actively cutting costs to shift their focus towards AI-driven markets,
All right.
specifically targeting data centers.
Interesting.
This indicates a broader industry trend towards AI integration,
Yeah.
with even traditional manufacturing companies like Panasonic
Right.
recognizing the potential
Yeah.
and adapting their strategies accordingly.
It's a sign of the times.
It is.
For sure.
Yeah, AI is becoming increasingly prevalent.
It is.
But in a bit of a blow to Tesla, Consumer Reports recently ranked Mercedes-Benz's driver assistance system higher than Tesla's autopilot.
Interesting.
This is significant.
Yeah.
because Tesla was once widely considered a leader in this area.
Yeah.
It appears the competition is catching up.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how Tesla responds to this challenge.
Yeah.
For a later note,
Right.
Tesla's latest software update included some fun undocumented features.
Oh.
Do tell.
What kind of features are we talking about?
Well, there's a new fart-on-sit mode.
That's definitely unique.
They've also added some upgrades to their voice assistant.
Oh.
And even included a reset button for the audio equalizer.
All right.
So even with all the serious news,
yeah.
they're still finding time to inject a bit of fun into their updates.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even with all the complexities and challenges facing a company like Tesla, there's still room for a little playfulness.
Exactly. Well, that brings us to the end of part 1 of our deep dive into This Week in Tesla.
Right.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From Cybertruck sales to European slumps
to
AI advancements. Be sure to join us for part 2, where we'll continue unraveling the latest developments.
Sounds good.
And delve deeper into what it all means for Tesla's future.
Looking forward to it. As we've seen, it's a very dynamic landscape for Tesla right now.
Definitely a lot of complexities at play. We've talked about those tariffs imposed by the Trump administration and the potential impact they could have on Tesla.
Yes, Tesla relies heavily on Chinese manufacturing.
Right.
These tariffs could mean higher costs for the company, potentially leading to price increases for consumers.
And that could further complicate their sales situation.
Yeah.
Especially with those slumps we discussed in Europe and California.
Right. It's important to remember that Tesla isn't just facing challenges from external forces like tariffs and competition.
Right.
There are also internal factors to consider.
Yeah.
Such as Elon Musk's leadership style.
Okay.
And the company's overall direction.
We talked about that controversial $56 billion compensation package for Musk and how it faced opposition from major investors.
The CEO of Norway's sovereign wealth fund even voted against it twice.
Twice? Wow.
This opposition raises concern. Yeah.
About corporate governance at Tesla.
And Musk's very public disagreement with the Norwegian CEO, accusing him of leaking private texts, only added fuel to the fire.
Right. These types of incidents contribute to a perception of instability and unpredictability, which can be unsettling for potential buyers considering a major purchase like a car.
Right. It also highlights the outsized role that Musk's personal brand plays in Tesla's overall image.
His increasing involvement in politics and his sometimes controversial statements on social media have sparked debate about whether his actions are helping or hurting the company.
Some argue that his outspokenness generates valuable publicity for Tesla, while others worry that it alienates potential customers.
That UK survey we mentioned.
Right.
Finding that 59% of EV buyers were less likely to buy a Tesla because of Musk's political views is a data point worth considering.
It is.
It suggests that his personal brand might be starting to have a tangible impact on sales.
Yeah, the question is,
can Tesla maintain its momentum and navigate these challenges successfully?
That leads us to another interesting development.
Okay.
Tesla's push into artificial intelligence.
Right. This is a significant area of focus.
It is.
For the company, they're not just building cars anymore.
Right.
They're investing heavily in AI technology with the goal of creating self-driving vehicles and even humanoid robots.
Right. We talked about how they're offering insurance discounts to drivers who use their full self-driving system, which is still in beta testing.
That's a bold move.
It is.
Demonstrating their confidence in the technology, even though it's not yet fully developed.
And a former Tesla engineer now leading a government tech agency is advocating for an AI-first strategy across federal operations.
Wow. So Tesla's influence is spreading beyond the automotive industry, potentially impacting government policy and the wider adoption of AI technology.
But this push into AI also raises ethical concerns.
It does.
Questions about liability in accidents involving self-driving cars and the potential misuse of AI are important considerations.
It's a complex landscape with both potential benefits and risks associated with AI development.
And Tesla is positioned to be a key player in this evolving field.
Meanwhile, the competitive landscape for electric vehicles is becoming increasingly crowded.
It is.
Traditional automakers are ramping up their EV offerings, and new players like Rivian and Lucid are entering the market.
Right. That new bill in Washington state, which would allow these other EV makers to sell directly to buyers, could further shake things up.
Yeah, it would erode Tesla's advantage, and that's a great way to put it. And that brings us to the end of part 2 of our Tesla deep dive.
We've explored the company's challenges and opportunities, from tariffs to political controversies to the rise of AI.
In Part 3, we'll wrap things up by discussing some key takeaways and what this all means for the future of Tesla and the EV industry as a whole.
See you tomorrow.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
All right.
It's the final part of our Tesla Deep Dive, where we'll try to piece together what we've learned and what it all means for Tesla moving forward.
It's clear that Tesla is at a pivotal moment in its journey.
It seems that way.
The company faces numerous challenges.
Yeah.
Both internal and external.
We've talked about those slumping sales figures, especially in key markets like California and Europe.
Right.
And there's that ongoing debate about whether Elon Musk's increasingly visible political affiliations are alienating some potential buyers.
And let's not forget those tariffs on Chinese imports.
Right. Those could have a significant impact on Tesla's production costs, potentially forcing them to raise prices.
Right.
At a time when they're already facing stiff competition.
Right. And speaking of competition, traditional automakers are really stepping up their EV game.
They are.
They're investing heavily in new models and technology, putting more pressure on Tesla to innovate and stay ahead of the curve.
And there are also those ambitious newcomers like Rivian and Lucid. Who are vying for a piece of the EV pie.
Yeah, they're bringing fresh ideas and innovative designs to the market.
They are.
Challenging Tesla's dominance.
And that new bill in Washington State, the one that could open the door for those competitors to sell directly to consumers, could further shake things up for Tesla.
It would definitely erode one of Tesla's key advantages in that market.
It would.
It's a lot to contend with.
It is, but amidst all these challenges, there are also opportunities for Tesla. Their push into artificial intelligence is particularly intriguing. They're not just building cars anymore. They're developing advanced AI systems that could revolutionize transportation and beyond.
Their full self-driving system, though, still in beta,
Yeah.
is a testament to their commitment to AI. And the fact that former Tesla engineer is now leading a government tech agency and pushing for an AI-first strategy speaks volumes about Tesla's growing influence in this.
Yeah, it seems like Tesla is poised to be a major player in the AI space.
They are.
Which could have far-reaching implications for their future growth.
It's a high-stakes game.
Yeah.
With both potential rewards and risks, the ethical considerations surrounding AI.
Yeah.
Especially in the context of self-driving vehicles will need to be carefully addressed.
Absolutely. So what does all this mean for Tesla?
Yeah.
What's the takeaway for those of us following their journey?
Well, I think it's safe to say that the next few years will be crucial for Tesla. They'll need to address those concerns about their leadership, diversify their product lineup, and adapt to a rapidly evolving market.
They'll need to find a way to maintain their innovative edge while also navigating those political and economic headwinds. It's a tall order.
Indeed it is, but Tesla has proven to be a resilient company.
They have.
Capable of defying expectations and pushing boundaries. Whether they can continue to do so remains to be seen.
It does.
It'll be fascinating to watch it all unfold.
That wraps up our deep dive into This Week in Tesla.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground exploring both the challenges
and the opportunities
that lie ahead for this groundbreaking company.
See you tomorrow.